Warning: if you are planning to apply for US citizenship this year, stop and listen, because the environment around immigration enforcement in 2026 feels very different, and the consequences of mistakes can be far more serious than most people expect. This is not only about delayed cases or paper rejections anymore. There have been disturbing, widely shared reports coming out of enforcement operations, reports of people being hurt or killed during chaotic encounters, and reports of U.S. citizen children being temporarily caught up in a parent's immigration detention situation. Some of these incidents are still being investigated or disputed, but the message for immigrant families is the same. When enforcement intensity rises, the margin for error gets smaller, and misunderstandings can turn into life-changing emergencies. My name is Yi Assad, and you're watching Immigration Newsroom. Today, I'm going to explain why citizenship still matters more than ever, what many people don't understand about applying for naturalization, and the 3 dangerous traps you must avoid before you file, so you don't accidentally put your green card, your future, or your family at risk. Let's start with what's driving the fear. In some parts of the country, communities are reporting a major increase in enforcement activity, more operations, more stops, more detentions, more anxiety. Minnesota, in particular, has been at the center of viral claims about large ICE deployments and controversial incidents linked to enforcement actions. Whether every detail you see on social media is accurate or not, one thing is clear: the temperature is higher, and people are feeling it in their daily lives, at work, at school drop-off, at protests, and even at routine appointments. Now here is why this matters to you, even if you are doing everything right. If you are a green card holder, you are still removable under U.S. immigration law in certain situations. That's not a political statement. It's a legal reality. A green card is strong, but it is not absolute protection. Citizenship is the strongest status you can have in the United States. It gives you the right to vote, the right to live here permanently without residency abandonment worries, and it makes deportation extraordinarily rare. So yes, if you are eligible, there are strong reasons to apply. But you must apply the right way, because naturalization can also expose issues that have been sleeping in your file for years. That brings us to the first big point. If you are eligible for citizenship, this may be the time to apply, but only after you understand what you're walking into. Generally, to qualify for naturalization, you must be at least 18. You must have had your green card for the required period, often 5 years or 3 years if you qualify through marriage to a U.S. citizen. You must meet physical presence and continuous residence rules, and you must show good moral character. That good moral character part is where many people get surprised, because it's not only about serious crimes. It can involve taxes, child support issues, certain repeated arrests, lying on forms, or even conduct the government believes shows dishonesty. And the civics and English requirements matter too. The test and interview can feel straightforward for some people and very difficult for others, especially seniors, people with trauma, people with limited schooling, or people who never had to use English in their job. But the real issue, what most people do not understand, is this. When you apply for naturalization, you are not only asking for citizenship, you are asking the U.S. government to recheck your entire immigration history. Immigration attorneys sometimes describe this as the government getting a second look at your record. USCIS can review your past visa applications, your green card process, your old forms, your old answers, and compare them to what you are saying now. And if something doesn't match, if they believe there was a misrepresentation, an omission, or fraud, they can deny your citizenship. In more serious situations, they can also refer the case for removal proceedings. Not in every case, not automatically, but it is possible. Here's a common example of how people get trapped. Years ago, someone applied for a visitor visa and said they were coming for tourism. Later, they married a U.S. citizen and adjusted status. That can be perfectly legitimate if circumstances truly changed after entry. But if the government believes the person always intended to stay and lied at the beginning, they may treat it as fraud or misrepresentation. Even if you didn't feel like you lied, the legal question can become, what was your intent at the time you applied or entered? That's why the first dangerous trap is this. Trap number 1. Filing for citizenship without reviewing your full immigration history. If you filed a visa application 10 or 15 years ago and you don't remember what was written, don't guess. Get your records. Review them. Compare them to your green card application and to what you plan to say in your N400 interview. If there's a mismatch, don't try to explain it away casually. Speak with a qualified immigration attorney before you submit anything. It is much safer to understand the issue up front than to discover it mid-interview when an officer is looking at an old form you forgot existed. Trap number 2. Thinking small. Legal issues don't matter. Many people believe only convictions matter. But arrests, charges that were dismissed, old incidents, or minor encounters can still trigger questions, especially if they relate to honesty, violence, drugs, or repeated issues. If you've ever been arrested, cited, or had any court involvement, do not hide it. Get the certified dispositions. Bring documentation. Officers usually care less about a resolved old incident and more about whether you tried to hide it, because when USCIS finds something you didn't disclose, the issue becomes credibility, and credibility is everything in a naturalization case. Trap number 3. Thinking citizenship is automatic safety and getting careless afterward. Citizenship is powerful, but it is not a magic shield against every problem. There is a legal process called denaturalization, meaning citizenship can be taken away if the government proves, in federal court, that a person obtained it through fraud or by concealing a material fact. This is rare and difficult for the government, but it exists, and the fact that it exists means your naturalization application must be accurate and consistent. So how do you protect yourself before you apply? First, be honest on every form. Don't guess. Don't round dates. Don't leave out trips. Don't skip addresses. If you're unsure, slow down and verify. Second, keep copies of everything. Old passports, I-94 records, prior visas, green card paperwork, tax transcripts, and any court dispositions. Third, if you have a complicated history, prior overstays, old misstatements, arrests, messy travel timelines, multiple marriages, or anything involving immigration petitions, talk to an immigration attorney before filing. A consultation can feel expensive, but filing the wrong way can cost far more. Now let's talk about something that makes people uncomfortable, but people need to hear it clearly. Even US citizens can get caught in enforcement confusion in real life, not because they are deportable, but because confusion, profiling, database errors, and chaotic enforcement encounters can happen. There have been public reports over the years of citizens being questioned, temporarily held, or wrongly flagged while authorities tried to verify identity. That is not how it should be, but it is why being prepared matters. So if you are a citizen, especially a naturalized citizen, consider keeping a clear copy of your U.S. passport photo page and, if applicable, a copy of your naturalization certificate stored securely. Do not carry the original certificate everywhere. Losing it is a nightmare. But having a secure copy can help in an emergency. And know your basic rights in an encounter with immigration officers. If approached, you can ask if you are free to leave. You have the right to remain silent. You can say, "I want to speak to a lawyer." You do not have to sign documents you do not understand. If you are ever detained, stay calm and request legal counsel. Now, there's one more myth spreading online that I need to address directly. People saying citizenship doesn't matter anymore. That is not true. A green card holder can be placed in removal proceedings under certain circumstances. A U.S. citizen generally cannot be removed, except in extremely rare situations involving proven fraud during the citizenship process. A green card holder can face residency abandonment problems after long trips. A citizen can travel freely. A green card holder cannot vote. A citizen can. So yes, the system is stressful right now. Yes, the climate feels harsher, but citizenship is still the strongest protection available, if you qualify and if you apply carefully. If you are eligible, apply, but do it the right way. Get organized. Review your history. Fix inconsistencies before filing. Get professional help if your case is complex. And once you become a citizen, protect your documents and stay informed. I know these are heavy topics, and I know the uncertainty can make people feel powerless. But knowledge is power. Preparation is protection. If this video helped you, subscribe to Immigration Newsroom. Because I'll keep bringing you updates and practical guidance so you can make smart decisions, not fear-based decisions. General information only. This is not legal advice. Every case is different. If you are considering naturalization and you have any red flags in your history, consult a qualified immigration attorney before filing.